Hello YouTube, it's Cerise, singing the truth, coming to you with my 28-week post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery update. So I want to talk about a lot of stuff today. So this video may be longer than normal, but there's a lot of stuff I have to get off my chest. I've been going through a bunch of stuff, and I'm getting ready to change some things. So I really want to be open and very honest with you all about what's been going on. And yeah, so we'll get into that in a minute. I will give numbers. My highest weight ever recorded was 293 pounds. That was in March of this year, 2014. My surgery was done on May 28th of this year, and my surgery weight was 265 pounds. My weight this week is 170 pounds. It's actually 170.1 for those of you that I know want to know every point. So about 170 pounds. I've lost 123 pounds since I started my pre-op diet. I've lost 95 pounds since surgery, and I'm doing good. I'm about 20 pounds to goal. I did see as little as 169 pounds this week, 169.5 pounds this week, but it's back up to 170 today. So, yeah. So let's talk about the title of this video first, because I know that that's going to be interesting. I'm calling this video The Dark Side of Weight Loss Surgery. And this is actually a very hard video for me to make. This video, I've been kind of going through the last couple weeks. I've noticed some habits that I have gotten into that are not just not good, but can be very, very dangerous. And so, I want to talk about those. And I have made a lot of notes, so I'm going to look down. I actually have like 3 pages of notes, so you can imagine how long this video is going to be. This video is actually also a bit embarrassing for me to make. I have a very hard time being vulnerable in front of people. I have a very hard time showing weakness. And I have a very hard time not feeling like I'm in control. So those things have all are all coming out today in this video. So, dark side of weight loss surgery. This does not happen to everyone. I need to just reiterate that. I'll probably say that a couple of times. This doesn't happen to everybody, but it is happening to me. So many of us in the weight loss community have heard of transfer addiction, and there is, a lot of ways that can manifest. I think when you have such a strong addiction, like to food or carbs or sweets or stuff like that, when you take that out, especially drastically, like so many of us did with weight loss surgery, you can find other ways to try to fill that need to feel comforted, or to feel good about yourself, or to feel like you're in control when you feel out of control, to try to get back to that. There's lots of ways that transfer addiction shows up, and I've heard of people who have their transfer addiction is clothes shopping, or obsessive working out, or things like that. There's lots of ways that can show up, and not all of them are necessarily dangerous or really bad. I think sometimes we're like at one extreme and we pendulum swing to the other side, and then we have to kind of find our balance. So I don't necessarily think that all of that is bad, even though sometimes it can be very normal. So my confession today is that my transfer addiction has become watching the scale go down. I'm 28 weeks post-op, so that's starting to slow down a bit for me. at least it should slow down a bit. And as that slows down, as I get closer to goal, as I can eat more calories and working out, I don't burn as many because I don't have the physical mass that I used to have. I have started some habits that can be very dangerous for my body. In the last 6 weeks or so, I would say most of these have gotten worse, whereas they were probably just, things that I did once in a while, or I wasn't quite so obsessed with. And now I've noticed in the last, week or so, 2 weeks, that they've become very obsessive things for me. So I'll go through the little list here. Not all of these do I want to admit to, but in the spirit of honesty, I weigh myself every day. Not just every day. I weigh myself 3 times every hour for 3 hours every morning. I wake up at 6:30 and I start getting my daughter up and getting her ready for school, and I go to the bathroom, and at 7 o'clock I weigh myself. I get on the scale, I get off, back on, 3 times. And then that number sticks in my head. Okay, that's my first number of the day. I get my daughter ready, I get her off to school. My husband usually takes her. If not, I drop her off, but no matter what, I'm home by 8. We usually drop her off between 7:30 and 7:45. I try to go to the bathroom again, and I weigh myself again at 8 o'clock. That's my second number, and I do the same thing 3 times on the scale. I try to make sure that the number's the same all 3 times, or get a lower number if I can. And then I do it again at 9. I go feed my kids, my boys, my twins. I go feed them. I get them, set up with toys or a movie or something. Get my husband's breakfast, and I go back to the bathroom, and I see if there's any more liquid or any more, anything that I can get out of my body, and get back on the scale at 9 a.m. That's my final number for the day. And my 7 o'clock weight and 8 o'clock weight are kind of those are my weights that I start with, so I can see kind of where I might get by 9 o'clock. I don't allow myself any water. I don't take my thyroid pill, which I take in the morning, until after my 9 o'clock weigh-in, and I don't allow myself to have anything to eat or drink. Nothing at all. So really, I'm just trying to get everything out of me so I can get the smallest number possible on that scale. Because that's right now my addiction, is seeing that number go down. It gives me this comfort, like, look, you did it. You're doing it. You're getting that number down. That number is so important to get down. So first, completely obsessed with weighing myself more than once a day. Never in the afternoon or anything, because at that point I've eaten food and had drinks, and there's no way I'll get on the scale to see a number. Second thing, I take milk of magnesia every other day, whether or not I need it. If I don't go to the bathroom in the morning, if I don't, I feel like the scale's not going to tell me the right number. It's not going to tell me the correct number because there's still stuff in my body that's not out. So whereas I used to kind of go, I might need to take milk of magnesia, I haven't gone in a few days. Now it's every other day like clockwork. Because I am so terrified that the number will not go down because I haven't gone to the bathroom or haven't gone to the bathroom enough. My doctor wanted me to be at 1,000 calories a day a month and a half ago. I have hit 1,000 calories a day for my daily total of calories, maybe 3 or 4 times in that amount of time. I tend to stay around 600 or 700 calories a day. And when people say, oh, you just can't eat more than that, I say, no, I really can't. I just can't fit more food in my body. Now, I'm not starving myself in the sense of I'm hungry and I refuse to eat. But I do eat lower calorie food instead of higher calorie food, even if it's healthier to eat the higher calorie food. Because I am terrified that if I eat even healthy food that is higher in calories, then I will gain weight. For example, my husband bought these really beautiful avocados, and I thought, ooh, having a little bit of avocado would be really yummy. And then I thought, no, avocados are very high in calories. I mean, just a quarter of an avocado is, 100 calories, a little over 100 calories. And instead I went and got a processed beef jerky stick that I found, that low calorie beef jerky sticks that was only 50 calories. So I'm eating more kind of processed crap that's lower in calories instead of healthy plant-based food or, whole food, because I would rather have low calories for the day than healthy calories for the day. I haven't done it, but I have contemplated it more than one time on this journey. Throwing up after I eat. Especially if I eat something that's higher calorie or something with a little bit of carbs, and my mind will start, okay, Cerise, you ate too much, you ate too many calories. What if you're not going to lose weight tomorrow? And the thought crosses my head various times throughout the day. You should just go throw it up. You should just go throw it up. You tasted it. It was yummy. Just go get rid of it so that it won't stick to your body anywhere. And like I said, I haven't done it, but the fact that I am thinking about it, and that the more I think about it, the more it might sound like it could be a good idea to do, is very dangerous. It's very dangerous for me. I have surpassed wanting to be healthy. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons for having weight loss surgery. Not all of them are just for health. I mean, I want to be pretty and skinny and feel good in my own body. But one of the top reasons, I mean, not maybe the very first reason necessarily, but one of the top reasons that I wanted weight loss surgery was to be healthy. And I really, started eating very healthy foods and watching my calories and stuff pre-operatively in an effort to get healthy. It was still a huge part of why I had weight loss surgery. And I think for the first few months afterwards, I still was, focusing on health. I was eating a lot of plant-based foods. I was doing vegetarian days. I was, focusing on salads and whole foods getting into my system. And I've noticed the last 6 weeks or so that I am I'm not as focused on health. I'm focused on skinny. I want to be skinny. I want to be in a size 6 or a size 8. I want to be skinny because I've never gotten that. And in my head, it will finally make me worthy of existing. Which is something I've struggled with so much. And every time I try to look in the mirror and see myself as worthy, I still don't see it, no matter how much weight I've lost. And instead of working harder to be healthy and try to focus on seeing myself as beautiful right where I am, I've started focusing more on just being skinny and doing whatever I have to do to get there. And the last one, I'm terrified to get to goal. Because I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there. And how I'm going to replace this. How I'm going to, replace this need to see the scale go down if I'm not allowed to watch the scale go down anymore. And the other part of me is terrified that I get to goal and I won't be able to stop watching the scale go down. And I will get too thin and I will not see that I'm healthy and that I will just be focused on getting as skinny as I can possibly get. So those are my confessions. As somebody else said in a video the other day, it's not all rainbows and unicorns. And, years of self-abuse and self-hatred do not go away when you have surgery, and they don't go away when you lose weight. Even though we all think it's a quick fix, or, I'll get skinnier and I'll be so happy. One of the things I said was I was not focusing on health, and so I want to share what that looked like for me. The last couple of months, whenever I stand up, I almost black out. I get very dizzy. And I kept saying, I just need more water. I'm just not focusing on hydration. I need to focus more on hydration and water and getting my liquids in. But I was also only eating like 600 calories a day and then going to the gym and burning off 200 or 300 calories. So my body was really suffering. I would go to the gym some days at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night and only have had 300 calories for the day. And I would almost pass out on the elliptical. And my husband kept saying, Cerise, you need to eat more. You need to eat more. And I'm like, I know, but I forgot. Or I know, but I'm trying. Or I know, but. And, my health really had started to get bad the last probably 2 months. I do have more energy and I could, eat more calories for a day or two and then go back to low calories and see the weight loss again and kind of make up for it. And feel good for, a few days and then go back into starvation mode and try to get myself to lose a little bit more weight. So I really have not been treating my body very nicely. And I can't even imagine what that kind of living, even just for the last few months that I've been really pushing so hard, has done to my health. Because everybody sees that I'm skinnier, and I feel the last couple weeks as I've realized this, I'm starting to feel kind of like a fraud because I'm talking about how healthy I'm getting. But really, I'm just getting skinnier, and that's not the same. So this is the last video for a while that I am going to share my weight with you. I'm going to put the scale away. I'm only like 19 or 20 pounds from goal. I'm not that far out. And the obsession that I have with watching the scale drop, watching that number drop, is making me crazy. So I am going to try to limit myself to weighing once every 2 weeks. I'm not going to put it away permanently because I really want to make sure that I am not gaining. That's my biggest fear right now. But at the same time, checking a number once every couple of weeks is very different than obsessively weighing myself literally 9 times a day. And I'm going to try to go by how I feel, how healthy I am, my clothes size, things like that, instead of that number and focusing on that number. Some other goals that I have are to start looking in the mirror and trying to see how beautiful I really am. Telling myself every day that I'm beautiful, that that is beautiful. Trying to really see myself the way I am and not the way my mind tricks me into believing that I look. I am going to get a minimum of 1,000 calories a day, no matter what. And that number should go up when I work out, not down to try to get the scale to look different the next day. Focusing on eating healthy foods and not just processed crap because it's low carb or low fat or low calorie. And really eating healthier foods, more fiber, and giving my body what it needs. Giving my body healthy sustenance and not just, look, I ate 2 beef jerkies and a bottle of water for lunch and that's only 100 calories. Yay me. To really start feeling healthy. No dizziness, fatigue. I was getting headaches every time I went to the gym. I would get a horrible headache as soon as my heart rate went up. And I think that just the stress of not eating enough and trying to work my heart and work my body and work my muscles was too much. It was too much on my body. To focus on the quality of my diet and not just the quantity. And I think that goes with eating healthy food and not just diet food. Making sure I get my water and my vitamins in every single day. Staying hydrated, making sure my vitamins are taken, my medicine, my thyroid medicine, all of that. And I want to start meditating and really doing self-reflection and positive affirmations every single day. That can get hard with my kids, but I spend at least 10 or 15 minutes a day. You're going to laugh. At least 10 or 15 minutes a day on Facebook. I spend way more time than that on Facebook. So I'm going to take some of that time and really focus on me and focus on feeling good and not just, running around and doing stuff. I've started to see a therapist. My therapist that I used to see when I lost my son 3.5 years ago. I'm going to start seeing my therapist once a week again to talk about all of this and try to get some of these feelings out and see what I can do to talk them out and do that and try to turn this around. Another goal I have is to be honest with myself. To be honest with myself, to be honest with you, to be honest with others, to be honest with my family, and really not lie to myself and tell myself my big lie. Oh, once you get to goal, you'll be fine. That's been I know it looks obsessive right now, but once I get to goal, I'll be done. I won't need to worry about it anymore. And I can guarantee you that this is not a light switch. This kind of thinking and this kind of self-abuse it's not a light switch. I'm not going to be able to flick that switch when I lose 20 more pounds and go, oh, look, I can eat, whatever I want. I can eat healthy. I'm good. I guarantee it. And then my last goal is to continue to get healthy labs and go by those numbers and my clothes and how I feel more than the scale. So that is my update and my confession. I know I'm not the only one that has struggled with this stuff after weight loss surgery. But I also know not everybody does go through it. And I hope that my confession will help anybody else who has some of these things to see them and to really work on being healthy and taking care of themselves and their body and their mind and their emotional well-being. Because I may not completely believe it yet, but I know that the truth is that that number on the scale does not determine my worth. And I'm going to work really hard on knowing that and believing it for myself. So, thank you.